All right, where's the fight from an underhook when he's attacking with an overhook? And why I'm doing this lesson today, because it kind of relates to that deep half series we did on Friday, where it would actually almost like a deep half takedown we call Yoko Guruma, where I basically pull deep half guard standing and sweep him, all right? So, Zach is gonna have an underhook, so let me reverse really quick. When I love the underhook position, and this is what my instructor used to do this to me all the time because I used to be very dominant with overhook, especially when I started getting my shoulder on top of his and his weight was broken down. Uchimatas, the Harai Go, stuck unders, I love this position. But what happens is, when I'm bringing him down, I'm actually giving him a line on my leg. So, reverse position. So, when Zach starts getting his hips in front of me and start now ready to throw, that's really tough. I want to almost be now starting to, when he starts getting there, kind of start squaring my body up so I have a line on his legs. I think I'm going to take my right arm and right leg, they go together between his leg, and I think I'm almost like pulling deep half on this leg and sweeping him over at the same time. So it kind of flows right on top. It's a great one when someone's really pressuring down on that overhook, especially for bigger guys, smaller guys who are getting kind of beaten down with an overhook, how to simply slip right underneath that leg and get the takedown. So we're here. I'm sorry, I said attack this leg. I meant this leg comes, this hand tries to shoot underneath that knee. So this leg's gonna come through the hole and right on top. When you get right on top, it's always, like one of the first things I do is just put that replacement foot right on top of his leg, so I prevent him from actually getting back to the half guard. Does that make sense? It's very simple. Called Yoko Guruma, but great takedown. Questions? We're gonna do both these. Either go to the pass right now, or if you want to play off the adaptation where you kind of get pinned and go to deep half. And you have, yes, no. All right. So I'm gonna go to deep half. So I'm gonna try and stop, and you're gonna go get to the deep half position. So I'm gonna go for my technique. I just kind of get jammed in here, and this thing happens. We end up in our deep half position. So this position, we'll just kind of like we end up like this. My favorite is to go for the waiter sweep. It's completely not in the chart, but we're gonna do it anyways. Two ways of doing it. I have long arms, so I go right for over, or you take under. It doesn't make a difference. People feel more power coming underneath the arm, underneath the leg. But I open my hips and get that leg. So I'm here. Instead of you can bring that leg to you with this other leg, but I'm gonna open my hips and turn. Okay? Now this left knee chops. Alright? So it's called a waiter sweep. And if you have a strong guy with a good base, you try the Yoko Guruma, you basically end up in this position. Xavier, it's a little advanced for you. But well, I'll have you work the basic stuff because we were just starting to play with this. So again, I'm here. I'm gonna go for my takedown. I'm gonna get jammed up. See how he's nice and high? That's what we're looking for. Now I stuffed that. Now I've got his base compromised. I think I'm gonna just do a technical stand-up. When I get here, we switch our hips. And now I can start the guard pass from there. Does that make sense? You see it again? One more. Do you remember we went over the deep half position? Let's look at, just so you guys can see what Zach's doing on top. It's not because it's like the thing to do, like, oh, I get deep half. It's like, that is the only way you have a solid base when you're on top deep half. Any other compromise in your base, you're gonna get knocked over. So you're here, and go for it. Get jammed up. Go right for that leg. Like I said, most people try to teach you to come under. I just have long arms, so I just tend to grab that ankle. When I do that, I open up my hips and turn and try to pull it into my pocket. Kick. Cut the hip. Pass it, go. All right, let's do it. The pass when you guys stayed standing, and the pass you guys did off the deep half is the same exact thing. So your choice now if you guys want to go, let's do both. So do the Yoko Guruma once or twice, and do the deep half adaptation once or twice, and then get the side control. So just for time's sake, go right for the Yoko Guruma. And as I was saying to Zach, I'm keeping, sorry, I stopped. I squeeze that leg as I come through out of the hole, so I'm not creating separation, we're not allowing him to get them out. Now I can pass. Now, if we were talking the cut pass, we're just gonna go to the cut pass, snake back up, get to our position. So what I'm gonna do right now is try to roll him up on his side. We'll get that leg cleared over. And we're gonna attack old school. So we're gonna go feed the grip underneath, come through, Kata Hajime. All right. So this is when we start getting an angle on the shoulder, on the arm. Okay. So when I'm here, I'm trying to roll up, let the arm come out, and I get my weight distributed on top of the shoulder. My right hand's gonna open his gi and I feed that left grip through. All right. Now, right hand's gonna come underneath the armpit, cut behind the head. All right. There's ways we make it a lot nastier. Put our knees involved. We'll ask for Miga, because he puts the knee behind the head and get that. But right now, it's literally that basic concept, and it'll make it work. Say again? It's called Kata Hajime or
Kata Hajime.
Yeah, I get two of them confused.
Oh, I remember.
Collar choke. All right. So again, here, rolling them up, getting on top of it again. You might want to try to go for that same control. I'm looking underneath. Here, I cut behind his head. All right. We definitely go sleeping technique.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is the right hand active or is it just kind of bracing?
Right hand's like cutting. Think about you're like doing this and you're trying to chop his head off, and that's what you feel. So you're extending and like I'm trying to like extend and like that feeling.
Straightens out his wrist.
Straighten out, and then the other one just see how it kind of slips around. They almost try to meet the hands together, and that's gonna give you that cutting effect. It's a cool choke, great choke, and opens up a lot of other techniques. All right, so let's do the whole series. Takedown or deep half guard into the Kata Hajime. Or guard pass into the Kata Hajime. Last thing we'll work on. All right, same thing again. Guys, I keep hammering in this knee thing. Again, back up slow. I want you to think about using, when you're getting that deep half, using those, like bringing his weight and body that way, and using those knees to come around. It's a big secret to setting it up. If you kind of just scramble around, you're not going to be able to get it right. Knees rotate around and get to my position. So you're noticing two things happen. Like we were talking earlier, if he's cheated backwards, easy, or we make him cheat backwards, it's easy to sweep him this way. Or sometimes what happens is you guys get really forward, and it's a great trigger, seeing both his hands on the mat, that you now can just kind of keep rotating around that way. So you actually kind of cuts it old for Miga sweep, that you just cup it and swim around. Or you end up kind of coming out the back door. Then he's around here, you just kind of slip out the back door. So what you're gonna do now is you're gonna start playing around with his balance. Get into that deep half, and just kind of think of ways, not ways, just those kind of 2 or 3, and spin around the leg. All right, so you like set it up, get the partner on top to move around a little bit, make him move a little bit, and then find a sweep to come on top. Spin around the leg, that's it. Questions? Let's do it. We're gonna do deep half today. We're gonna start top down, kind of from the knee shield, and then going into deep half. Even though it's considered more sport, I like the principle of deep half, meaning keeping their weight above you and just fighting the leg and thinking about almost like spinning yourself around the leg, which makes it easier, for at least my brain. You know, I'm not trying to fight the whole body, I'm just trying to fight one leg. So if you can think about, especially during scrambles, this principle shows up all the time if you have a leg. It's almost like a single leg in wrestling sometimes, and that's how I relate to it and play with it.
And it is showing up more and more in MMA.
Yeah,
so if you're fast, it can have.
And you end up position, it's a nice quick transition. Playing the sport-based version where you're kind of hanging out down there, obviously you can get punched in the face. But if you're transitioning through, I pulled deep half of my MMA fight and got punched in the face. So it's a little bit of a joke. So let's start from here. I start from the knee shield, which anybody not know what you mean by knee shield? A high knee that protects, hands framing on the side of the body. And I think about using this knee as a guide to get to his back. So typically when we come through, we'll stay in the high line. I'll teach you as you bring your inside ear to his chest and you're feeding for an underhook. And from here we can attack a lot of different sweeps. But this time, I'll take you guys come right behind here so you can see. When we feed through, I think about like cutting his ass, like right underneath his ass cheek, and clasping my hands together underneath. So From my knee shield, I'm gonna dive down, get my hands together, and then I'm gonna bring my shoulders to the mat and turn the other leg. So without Adam, I have my knee shield. I'll come down and grab it, get a nice connection. And I bring my shoulder to the mat, and then bring my knees all the way around to the other side. So his leg will be right here, his like basically his thigh will be right here, the leg is between, and I'll be locked in like this. So from my knee shield, and for any way keeping distance, now when I decide to attack, my feet by underhook, hands together, roll my shoulders back. Once his weight is above me, now I don't fight him, just use your body mechanics to get to the leg. When you guys get here, two kind of major positions. I can keep my hands locked on the leg, or I can bring one hand to the belt and control like that hip. And have the same here. You're really gonna want to have this hanging out too long. You're eventually gonna want to hide it. But let's just get to this position right now, and we'll build it. Questions? I may need to see it again. Let's do it. One more time.
Yeah, please.
Which angle?
Bring it in closer, Killer.
Okay. Knee shield again. Diving through. So if I'm on my left side, I'm gonna bring my left ear, try to get low to his belly, and then this is gonna go right, like below his ass cheek, okay? Hands together, or you can bring your hands, like if you have your hand right here, you wanna keep it, when you go backwards, you wanna get it together. And think almost like trying to bridge.
Okay.
To get him high. As he starts coming high, just on this leg, I'm gonna spin my legs around to the other side and then lock at him.
Right.
We should be looking the same direction. All right, because I want to his defense is getting an underhook here and flattening me out. So I want to be at least at minimum defending that line. Does that make sense?